So hello and welcome to another episode of Steam's Four Wheels. Last time I spoke about how much trouble I was having with my other SLK, and don't worry, that hasn't been sold, that's still here. And I said in that video I was going to do something a bit more positive on this video, and something happened this last week and very positive, and I couldn't say no to it. So I have actually gone out and bought another SLK, completely unexpected, wasn't planned, but I bought this SLK for £500 and I couldn't say no, basically. So here is my £500 Mercedes SLK. It's a 1999 230 Kompressor Auto. It's in silver with black leather. And I'll explain a little bit first of all how I got this car. As some of you know, I actually do work for a Mercedes dealer, and I heard a couple of weeks ago about a car that was coming in, a £500 SLK. And the people at work know that I have an SLK, know that I like my SLK. So I think it was a bit of a joke at first about buying this car, and then it actually arrived, and a £500 I just couldn't say no. So I agreed to buy it subject to the dealer doing a used car check on it, which they did. The only things that he found was sort of wrong with this car: it needs a brake fluid change, and also it needs some new windscreen wipers. So if there was any excuse for me not to have it, it would have been on that used car check, but I couldn't really say no. So in this video, we're going to go have a little bit of a walk around. I'm going to talk about my plans for the car, short and long term as well. So we'll start sort of at the front of the car, and it does look a very nice car. I'm going to go and back away a little bit because I think this car is very much what I call a 10-foot car. It sort of looks good from about 10 foot away. It's only even get a little bit closer. We'll have a little walk around. I'll show you the exact sort of problems that this car has when you get a little bit closer. So we'll start at the front. It needs a new number plate. On the headlights, you probably can't see on here, but the inside has condensation in, which obviously isn't meant to be that way. So it is going to need a new headlight. They're not too expensive. I've seen some about £30 or £40 on a particular internet auction site. And it's interesting, the actual headlight includes a frame, the whole unit, but this bit's actually separate, so you can buy either an indicator or without an indicator. So I'll probably try and keep this one. I'll try and keep as many parts, original parts for this car as I can. So I'm probably going to try and reuse this one, and hopefully it'll be a bit cheaper as well. So moving on to the bonnet, we do have a few little sort of stone chips on this leading edge here on the bonnet, which will need touching professionally. They've also gone for the paint. Now the last owner owned it since 2005, so it's come out of quite long-term ownership really. Unfortunately, they did have a cat, and the cat liked to live on the car, unfortunately. Now it's left loads of little scratches, which you can sort of see on the paintwork, and they're mainly on the bonnet and also on the boot lid as well. So it is going to need touching up. Thankfully though, well, some of them might need touching up. Thankfully, there's not too many of the scratches that actually seem to have gone through the paint. They all seem to be something that I could do something with, and hopefully it won't require either a new bonnet in this colour or respraying the whole bonnet. So when we come around to talking about resprays, the other problem, and this is probably the one that actually is alright, as you can probably tell, is a little bit of bubble rust. Every single wheel arch has it on this car. As you can see, just a little bit coming through. However, none of it looks like it's causing holes in the paintwork, so I think it's very much salvageable. Hopefully I'll be able to keep all the original body panels on here. There's also a little bit just coming up through here as well, which again, that's going to be a sort of bumper off job. Now I can do certain stuff with the paintwork. I can machine polish it and everything, but I can't unfortunately respray. I haven't got the facilities and the knowledge, to be honest, on how to do it. So if we come back down, as again, I'll show you this rear wheel arch. The rear wheel arches are probably worse for worst. There's quite a bit on this edge here, and just coming through on here as well. So it's not too bad. There's also, you can probably tell, a few little dents on here. There's a couple of dents on the boot lid as well with the scratches. Again, I'm going to have to get someone professional to do that. Maybe while I'm getting the wheel arches done, that might be something else I get looked at. Now this particular car has done 103,000 miles, so again it's not too bad, and it's got relatively good service history as well. Most, I think all of which actually has come either from a Mercedes dealer, or the last owner took it to an independent Mercedes dealer. Independent Mercedes especially. So it is pretty much the same as this, a little bit worse than about a few scratches and marks on there. I will come out and point out some stuff on the inside. Now the inside is actually the place that probably needs the least amount of work. As with sort of most SLKs of this generation, as you can see, a lot of the paint is starting to peel on all the edges. It's worse particularly where you get the handbrake. Obviously you put your arm on there to release the handbrake and rest your sort of arm on there. That's probably the worst bit about it. The seats are obviously black leather. They do have a little bit of wear, as you can see, on that bolster coming in and out. However, nothing's that bad. I quite like that. It just shows that the car has actually been used. As you can see, it's fairly nice interior, nice place to be. Slightly more of a retro feel, and it's actually quite surprising. It actually feels a little bit bigger than my other SLK, purely I think because the dash slopes away, whereas my other SLK is actually quite bolt upright almost. So actually the dash does feel a little bit further away. As you can see, you've got all the things: air conditioning, CD player. Obviously this one is an automatic, so I've got a 5-speed auto in. Very nice. I do like this, the dials on there, the cream dials, and obviously you've got your very traditional 4-spoke Mercedes steering as well. So overall I'm really impressed with the interior. So here is underneath the bonnet, of course. This here is the 2.3 compressor engine. It's a 4-cylinder supercharged engine. It's about, actually 0 to 60 takes about 7.3 seconds, actually only a tiny bit slower, 0.3 of a second slower than my other SLK. So it's going to be interesting. I haven't really driven this car too much, but it's interesting to drive and really see how much difference there is. As you can see, it looks like an engine that's done 103,000 miles, but actually everything is, this looks a bit dirty, a bit grimy, and I'm hoping to be able to do a few bits and pieces to it just to tidy up a little bit, but actually everything on the whole looks very smart. So this is just a quick little introductory video. I'm going to be doing a few little bits and pieces of this car myself. I'm also going to be outsourcing some stuff as well, stuff like the rust and the respraying, but stuff like some of the scratches I can probably do myself. My first big thing on this car is get to know it a little bit more, take it out for a few little drives at a weekend or at an evening, whenever I get the chance to, and just get to know the car a little bit more and just see whether it's a good car. It is going to need a service at some point. I might also do things like spark plugs just to get those done as well. So that's about it really. That's my sort of short-term plan. Just get the bodywork done, get it looking a little bit smarter, get it to the point where I can take it to shows, and hopefully it'll be alright and quite well received at shows as well. Little things like number plates I can do myself. Long-term plans, I don't really know about this car. It wasn't something I planned on buying another SLK, so it's probably, I don't know, I'm going to keep it for maybe a year or so, see what happens in a year. And I'm not saying after a year I'm going to sell it, but I'm going to see what I want to do with it and see what with the future holds for this car. I don't really know. I say it was a £500. It was too good of an opportunity for me to say no, really. Probably something that if you're not a car reviewer, you wouldn't understand why would you want 3 cars. Whether I, as a car reviewer, think I need 3 cars is another question, but as I say, I couldn't say no. So this is really just a quick little introduction to this SLK. I also need a name for it as well. I haven't really come up with a name. The number plate doesn't really jump out to me with anything that could be spelt with that. So any suggestions will be welcome in the comments below. I'm going to leave the videos here. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this SLK coming up, hopefully. My other SLK is going to be going up for winter storage. I just garage it just for a few months during the winter, just in the worst of the weather. Hopefully this one's going to be staying outside though. I'm going to get a cover. I'm off to the NEC Classic Car Show next weekend, so I've got to get a cover for this one. And also cover my SLK, so that's another quite expensive weekend after just buying this one, taxing it and insuring it as well. So I'm quite looking forward to paying though this month. But I'm going to leave it there. Any other questions, anything you want to ask me about this car, leave them in the comments, and as usual I'll do my way best to answer them. So if you like the video, make sure you like the video, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel to see more, not just on this SLK but also on my other SLK. And I will see you very soon. Goodbye.